Hi, and welcome to another edition of the House of Beat podcast. I'm Corey.
I'm Tommy.
Today, we're going to talk about our top 5 musicians turned actor or actress.
Welcome back. For this list, we're going to take a look at musicians who have turned actor or actress. They had to have started their career as a musician prior to becoming an actor or an actress.
All right.
Okay.
So before we get into this, because obviously, the history of music and TV and film goes back many, many years.
5 years at least.
Exactly. Mine are kind of more, as I started going through, all the ones that were older, from before my lifetime that were good musicians / actor actresses, I kind of pushed down in my list and kind of went with more a modern flavor with mine.
I did basically the same thing, even though I may have been around and saw some of these, musicians who became a really great actress or a really great actor. It's just one of those things that I was thinking about, and it's like, yeah, that was great for its time. And it's like, if I had the Blu-ray or the DVD, or if I had the choice on Netflix, would I choose that to bring it up and watch it? Probably not. So there's going to be a number of phenomenal actors and actresses that are going to be in my honorable mentions. But for me, part of this was, what am I going to watch today? If I'm going to sit down and just have a marathon of 5 movies, one from each of these folks, there's a number of great people that didn't make my list.
Right, and I know we talked about this ahead of time, but and I think we're on the same page where we gauge this solely on their acting, and not necessarily on their the popularity or the quality of their music.
So there could be a musician that wasn't really that great as a musician, but turned out to be a very enjoyable to watch actor or actress. So that's how it worked for me as well.
Okay. So do you want to kick this off?
I will tell you my number 5. It's kind of interesting because this person isn't very widely known, but it's actually Tom Waits. Tom Waits, he'd been in a number of different movies going back all the way to like 1978, I want to say. There was Paradise Alley. There was Outsiders. He was
Dracula.
in Outsiders. He was in Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah.
More recently, it's not really that recent anymore now, but he had a decent part in Mystery Men, which is a great superhero parody movie that I shovel well. I shovel well. The Shoveler. There's so many. We could probably spend a whole episode.
We should do a top 5 of William H. Macy movies.
I would be up for that as well. And if you're up for that, well, we're just going to do it anyway. It doesn't matter. You just don't have to watch it if you don't want to see it. That's all. And I just wanted to mention too, he was in Book of Eli as well. So that's my number 5. What's your number 5?
My number 5 is Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Started as the front man of Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. And actually doing the research, he was originally in New Kids on the Block with his brother.
I did not know
and
that.
Quit like 2 or 3 weeks into it when he was like 13 years old because he didn't want to do it.
Decided music wasn't for him.
Not that music wasn't for him, but he didn't like the setup that they had and the boy band kind of thing.
Because Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch is just much better.
Anyways, but he's done some really good things when he has a good director. So the Happening notwithstanding, you give him a decent director, and you can actually get a good performance on him. Boogie Nights is a really good example. Yeah. The Transformer movies, he's pretty decent in those. The later ones where he took over for Shia LaBeouf. But yeah, I thought he's turned himself into a very good leading actor in Hollywood, and he originally was a musician.
I enjoy many of the movies that Mark Wahlberg is in as well. So,
all right,
that was your number 5.
Yeah. So
what is your number 4?
My number 4 is Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah.
One of my favorite unsung heroes as far as a guitar player. Pretty good riff writer, pretty good songwriter, and singer in his own right. But what put him on this list for me is his role in the Hunger Games.
Thoroughly enjoyed his role
which
in the Thunder Games. In
the Thunder Games.
Hunger Games.
Having read the books before I saw the movies, I thought he was perfect in the role, and I really appreciate what he brought to that.
Well, I never read the books myself, so I didn't have that as a basis of comparison. But just knowing he was in that movie, I was so psyched about that because I just thoroughly enjoy him as a musician. I'm like, I hope he really can pull this off. I hope he's a good actor. So not really having any expectation of what the character would be like, thoroughly enjoyed his performance of the character and the performance of that character by him. So, I didn't even think of Lenny Kravitz. I wish I had. Very good. So that was your number 4.
Yes.
My number 4 is actually Cher. So Cher's been in a number of movies: Silkwood, Mask, Moonstruck, Witches of Eastwick, and some of these movies are movies that I can enjoy again. She is a phenomenal actress. She's one where maybe hasn't done anything more recent, but some of the movies she's done still hold up today and are still enjoyable today. And that's one of the reasons why I made it into my top 5.
Yeah, I mean, her role as the mother in Mask is just classic.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with you there. So, moving on. Number 3.
My number 3 is Ice Cube. So, Ice Cube, you got Three Kings, you got Boys in the Hood, Friday, Higher Learning. He's been in a number of different movies. Some are hits, some are misses, but just his persona, I enjoy him on screen. I'm not going to get into like the Triple X sequel of it. But, like I said,
right.
Many actors and actresses have hits and misses, but he brings a smile to my face, and then he's for me had more hits than misses.
Higher Learning is one of my all-time favorite movies just in general, and he plays it. I imagine his role in that is just how he is in general, so it's just a natural fit for him, because that's how I picture Ice Cube, just being chill and and being the basically the character he is in that movie.
All right, so that was my number 3.
So my number 3, and I put him here based on a single role, and I'll give you a hint. There's a line that Edward Norton says in this movie that I love, and I love his character in this movie, but this line is just an all-time classic line. The line is, "Bob had bitch tits."
Oh, geez, Fight Club. And so I know who you're talking about.
Meatloaf.
Yeah.
So just on that role alone as Bob in Fight Club puts him number 3 on my list. But
Rocky Horror
Picture Show. And as I was doing the research to make sure he was okay, it was kind of vague because Rocky Horror Picture Show came out around the same time as Bat Out of Hell, and the recording of the album was almost simultaneous with the recording of the movie, and he had been on the stage production of Rocky Horror before that.
I think I had excluded if somebody did have, even with
right.
The movies.
So it was, I was prepared in case I had to throw him out.
I'm not going to take that from you.
But I thought it was, it was close enough that we can get away with it, just because he had done some stage work and had been working with Jim Steinman prior to doing Rocky Horror Picture Show, even though the CD hadn't quite come out yet.
Okay.
But yeah. So.
Very good. So that was your
number 3.
That was your number 3.
So my number 2 is Tim McGraw. He's a country music superstar. Not that we're fans of country music per se, but he's
take that back.
he's done some good work. Friday Night Lights is one example, and unfortunately I'm drawing a blank, and I didn't write down more examples, but that one, the role in that really cements his work as an actor for me.
He was actually wasn't he in Blindside? Wasn't that Tim McGraw as well?
It's been a while since I've seen that, so I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it was. I'd have to look it up and verify. So if I'm wrong on that, I know it was a country singer that was playing the husband of Sandra Bullock's character.
I mean, it could have been.
And that's where I was thinking when you said that, and thoroughly enjoyed that performance from him. But yeah, okay, great. All right, Tim McGraw, number 2 for you.
Yes.
So my number 2 is actually Mark Wahlberg. So you had mentioned Mark Wahlberg earlier. I put him up a little higher. There were some other movies that weren't mentioned that I enjoyed. Four Brothers, Italian Job, Three Kings. He was in that with Ice Cube. He was in Ted.
Yes.
And also Other Guys. I think that's an underrated movie. I really like the movie Other Guys.
Honestly,
with
I haven't
Will
seen it.
Ferrell. You start out, because like The Rock is in it too. Is got a smaller role. Michael Keaton is in it. There's a great cast of characters. Don't expect a lot of intelligence from the movie. Grab a beer or a rum if you're like me. Sit back, relax, and you'll really enjoy the movie. It's not.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it. I haven't seen it yet.
Highly recommend it. Highly
Okay.
recommend it. And especially Keaton. There's just small pieces of things that he does in that role that just crack me up. So, but Mark Wahlberg is my number 2.
Okay.
All right.
So that brings us to our number 1.
Our number 1 pick. Shall I go? Who goes first? You go first, or I go
Well,
first?
we've been going back and forth, so I think it's yours. But I have a feeling we're gonna have the same person because
Well,
I just got that feeling.
Will Smith.
That's who I had as well.
Okay. How could
Yeah,
it
I
be
mean,
anybody else
There's
but Will
there
Smith?
there is no other musician turned actor that has become the ultimate leading man in Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, just some credits that I got on here: Men in Black, Independence Day. Actually, he was one of the standouts in Suicide Squad. Maybe not the best movie, but it did have some really good performances in it. It was a matter of the story, where it went, and weird witches at the end. But apart from that, there's some great performances, and he's won. Bad Boys, Hancock, I, Robot.
Yeah, so we're in a complete agreement on that. I mean, immediately when you brought up the topic, one, Will Smith, without even doing any research, and as I started looking into other things, that didn't change.
His catalog goes on and on and
Yeah.
on. But, and even if he's not in the best movie, he still gives a good performance, i.e. Wild Wild West. That is a guilty pleasure of mine just because of his performance in that. And Kevin Kline as well. So, but yeah, absolutely number 1. Even when you take some of the other great actors, actresses who may not have been mentioned because of the rules we kind of established for ourselves separately,
Right.
independently, but he's right up
Yeah,
there.
I mean, regardless if, based on our rules that they had to have been, a musician first, there's a couple that I'm going to mention that I had thought of but marked as exempt.
Yeah.
That are musicians that are really good actors, but they got their start in TV or movies first.
So
I mean,
some of your honorable mentions?
But even they couldn't surpass Will Smith. So do we? I'm gonna do. There's a couple people that I want to mention that I exempted because they didn't meet the criteria. The first one is Jared Leto.
Okay.
He's the lead singer of 30 Seconds to Mars.
Yes, he is.
But he got his start in movies before he started the band. And
I
before
actually had looked him up as well.
Yeah,
He was excluded. I got him on my list.
but,
right there.
I'll
show you that.
Again, Suicide Squad wasn't the greatest movie, but I'm okay with his Joker. I know it's not Heath Ledger's Joker, and I know it's not other things, but for what it was trying to do, I was okay with it.
He was not utilized. They didn't utilize him well enough in that because some of the greatest scenes in the trailers when Jared Leto was talking and laughing or whatever, and it's like that hooked me on the movie.
Right.
That was the best parts of
And he
how
was
they
severely
used him.
lacking when it came to the actual movie.
That was the direction. I don't blame him
My
for
favorite role of his, though, is Dallas Buyers Club.
that. I have not seen that.
Very good movie. It's got him, Matthew McConaughey, and he plays a really good role in that. So I would highly recommend watching that. The second one that I ended up exempting is Justin Timberlake.
Mr. Timberlake.
And as I was doing the research, he actually got to start on TV. He was in the Mickey Mouse Club back when he was a kid before NSYNC.
Okay.
So that, if it hadn't been for that, he probably would have cracked my top 5.
So it was like, because the movie that you just really loved him in was Love Guru, right?
Actually, the role that I really liked him in is he plays, I can't think of the guy's name, but he's the guy that invented Napster, but he's in the movie The Social Network.
Social Network, that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
And that's the role that I really liked him in, that would put him on the list for me.
I made fun of Love Guru, but I will say it is a guilty pleasure of mine. I don't care.
Any Mike Myers movie.
I don't care who will write nasty things about that. I enjoy that movie. It makes me laugh.
And any Mike Myers movie does it for me. That, any of the Austin Powers movies. So I Married an Axe Murderer is my all-time favorite Mike Myers guilty pleasure movie. Another show.
We'll have to give that another time. Okay.
I don't know did you have any people that you exempted?
Yeah, Timberlake, Leto were on there. And unfortunately, I forgot to mark some of them. Ice-T was in there as well. He actually, there was a breaking or breakdancing or something like that, was something that he appeared in first before starting his music career. And I was like,
okay.
He'd done so much work. I mean, yeah, you could say New Jack City, great movie and stuff like that, but season after season of oh, help me out, what's the dun dun?
Oh, Law and Order.
Law and Order. Yeah,
Special Victims Unit.
SVU. So he had done so much great work on that show alone that he was in my top 5 till I researched a little further, and it's like, dang, I got to push him out.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not sure about others in my list if they were pushed out because they didn't meet the criteria, or they're just in my list for honorable mentions. Where are you at? Do you have more to mention on?
No, I mean, that was it for exempts. Some of the honorable mentions I had: LL Cool J,
Bette Midler,
Mandy Moore,
Sting,
David Bowie.
Oh, just about to say Bing Crosby.
I didn't have, again, mine was more modern. Although I did have Elvis on here.
Dolly Parton,
9 to 5, good movie.
Queen
Latifah I had, yes.
Harry Connick Jr., Independence Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually a lot more. Memphis Belle, that was a fantastic movie. It's a period piece, so it's not a matter of does it hold up today, because you're looking at I can't remember if it was World War I or World War II. I think it's World War II.
Yeah.
But great movie. He's great performance in that, and of course Beyonce.
Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, J-Lo, I have her.
Although I wasn't sure, because I didn't research it because she wasn't going to make my top 5 anyways.
Yeah.
So I didn't do the research. I did have a question mark, but I wasn't sure if her acting debut was playing Selena in the biopic about the other singer that got killed by the fan club person. And something tells me that she had done that before she released her first album, so she would have been exempt anyways.
She's done some good work over the years, and yeah, she probably wouldn't have made my top 5, but definitely an honorable mention.
Yeah.
You know, there was a TV show more recent with Ray Liotta, a cop show that she's in, about dirty cops and something blue or something. I don't remember the name of it.
I know it from seeing the commercials for it.
Really enjoy that show and her performance in it. I think it's really, really good. So, all right. Did you have any more that you wanted to add?
I think we touched base on everyone I had on my alternate list or honorable mention list.
Oh, there was one more I forgot to mention. Barbra Streisand.
Okay.
Yeah, funny girl, Yentl, Star is Born, Nuts. She had lots of movies, and again, it got moved out of my list because even though those were great movies at their time, there's just not. I'm going to go right past those on Netflix or whatever to get to some of these other artists.
And honestly, I didn't even think of her, and I think part of it was the fact that most of the movies she's been in were musicals, and so it just kind of slipped my mind that those make her an actor.
Musicals are movies too.
No, and trust me, I like musicals, but
oh boy,
but I didn't immediately make that connection and didn't even think of her because kind kind of blocked it out. That
Did I say Bette Midler?
you did say Bette Midler.
I did.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for our top 5. And so we'll be doing more shows in the future.
Yeah,
and
we're still going to have Smoothie on. We were hoping to do that this week, but unfortunately things happen in life, and he was not available this week.
people
but-
get sick and other things happen. So
But we are going to bring in Big Smoothie from K-Rock local radio fame to talk about the strongman competitions that he participates in and runs himself here in the local Syracuse area.
yeah, look up 315 Strong if you want to find out more information about that, and he'll be here to talk more. But for now, if you think there's anything that we missed, if you think we're way off, just let us know. Comment down below.
Down here,
Don't
there's a
forget the
subscribe button right underneath my belly.
somewhere over there.
Click it.
You can click that if you like to stay up to date. You can be notified and more videos coming out. I kind of cheated and snuck around and did a video on barbecuing tips, and posted that just because I couldn't wait. But we will be doing, as the weather gets better, more grilling tips and a lot of other things. But
We're going to grill some beef tips.
yeah, we can do that.
Okay,
We're gonna smoke them.
nice.
Smoke them if you got them.
All right. So till next time, I'm Corey.
I'm Tommy.
We'll see you later.
You stay classy, San Diego.